Good evening.
Good
Welcome.
evening.
Welcome to Monday Night Therapy. I'm Minnie Hunt, and with me is Fred and somebody who is dressed so cute.
Willie with his Husker tie. He's ready for Iowa week. So, yeah,
He's ready for Iowa week.
he
Is
is.
that how you prepare for Iowa
Well,
week?
it's the first year we've had him. So, this is it. See, this is where we need the coordination site to still be going because I think John would probably make like fuck Iowa bow ties for dogs. I think he's that petty. So, he could create something like that.
I I think that this is exactly how I wanted to start the show off.
Okay.
Let's just throw it all out there. Every Last night, I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch overreaction, but Jake just let it all fly. In his own words, he became unhinged about Iowa. And that was actually really entertaining. I loved it.
It's going to take some doing to top that. I don't know that I have the rage and hate that he has, but
Oh,
I
he
can probably
does.
counter it with a little bit of wit and some anecdotal stories I have from over time. So yeah.
Well, okay, let's get you riled up, shall we? Tell me tell me how you felt Saturday night after a nice loss to Penn State, where we only scored, thank God, for our freshman quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing I have a heavy bag out back. Um, but not that I even hit it. My body's so frail anymore. If I hit it in the cold, I'd probably break something. But I was just not pleased with it. Is an understatement. I was disgusted. I was angry. Um, Ignominious was a word I yelled. My neighbors probably just don't understand why I'm yelling the word ignominious because I was watching the game on the deck outside. So they probably just think I'm unhinged as well. Um, yeah, it was just brutal.
Yeah, it was
Very, very frustrating.
brutal. I have to say, um, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Confession time. I was expecting to have a nice evening on Saturday, hanging
Mm,
out with some friends, all the local Husker fans that showed up at there's this Husker bar called Dirk's Bentley Whiskey Row. It's a great place here in Scottsdale, Arizona. So they always show the Husker games with like on every single television with and they pipe in the sound. So it's a great place to watch games. Um First quarter, okay. Okay. We started off on a very good like I thought the momentum was going really great. Emmett Johnson had a 52-yard rush.
mhm.
That was incredible, and then we made it well, if we it we didn't score. We didn't score. That was I think we got a field goal out of it.
No, we got nothing. We
We
went
got
for it on
nothing?
4th. Yeah, we went for it on 4th down. How many did you take the Walgreens wine with you to the Dirk
That's
Bentley bar?
right. Oh gosh, no, I'm telling
No,
you
I
right now,
remember
it was
I
such a
hugged a
nightmare
bottle of wine, and I remembered that we didn't score.
that we
Yeah,
didn't score. Oh, how many times
mm-mm,
have we done this? How many
many,
times have we done this season?
so many, and it's like, I don't there was a lot of debate. Everybody's get the points. I love going for it, but you just have to get it, and we just fail in short yardage all the time, and I mean, and this is just me speaking. I We didn't get it. And I said, they're going to go 98 yards on us, and then the game is over. And that's exactly what happened. I know people are like, oh, you're just Debbie Downer, but it's like, no, we've gotten to the point, at least for me, now I know when it's over, like early, just like it was with Frost, just like it was with Callahan. And this is
That's
the
not
same
nice,
thing.
okay? That's
It
just
just,
that you the first quarter, you're not the first person who says that because who okay, Aaron Keene right here. He says, "I
mm,
watched the first quarter and then went to see Georgia Lynch. I made the right choice." Okay.
good choice, Keen. Smart
After the
man.
first quarter, what was it? 3 to 10, 3 to 17, quickly. And then second
Yeah.
quarter, they scored again,
Mhm.
made it 3-17, Penn State did, and we just couldn't do anything on offense. It felt like, every chance we got, we just turned it back over.
Honestly, I feel like we didn't get it on that 4th down. They scored. The coaches probably were already clinched up tighter than somebody walking into the Penn State shower. And after that, the players played tight and scared, just like the coaches coach scared, because we didn't see a Holgerson offense. We didn't see anything that was designed to really move the ball or anything creative. Defense, we knew they were going to run the ball, but then we were giving up pass plays. The announcers said it. They were running two-man routes, two-man pass routes, because we had to honor the run because we couldn't stop it, and they were hitting guys. The guy was 11 to 12. Like it shouldn't have been that difficult, but they just pummeled us, and it was disgusting.
Ted, poor Ted. I wonder how many people feel like Ted. Um, it was disgusting. But what okay, so I got to the point where you and Aaron Keene were, where you guys walked out after the first quarter. I got to that point, when the score was 17-3 in the second quarter.
Mm,
They hadn't scored the other touchdown yet, but once they did, I had already asked for the check. I'm like, "I'm done. I am out of here." And so I left, and yes, never mind me, or I guess I was with my friend Connor Hayden from Corn Crazed,
mhm,
and I guess he must have said something because everyone's telling me, "Gosh, you were really pissed off at the game." Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Why in the world I go out to enjoy myself and have fun and high five people, not sit there and sulk because
mhm.
we are that bad. That's how I felt. So I went home and did it in privacy.
I watched the whole game. I didn't quit watching. I just knew we were done. I mean, really, I commented last night on the Sunday show. If not for this show, I would have quit watching because I'm trying to be a professional and still pay attention like I give a shit. But it's hard. Like it was just the life was out of them, and that it was a Minnesota game. Like just give it up and just sit there and take it. It's just undescribable.
Yeah. So, the other part of that is they had, been chanting, "Hire Terry Smith." This is the thing that kills me. I said, do you guys remember? I know I wasn't very popular last week at all. And I said that Terry Smith, their interim head coach, somehow has pulled out of them their best. And I mean, they didn't even have to play their best, to be honest. They just shut us down, with coaching.
Yeah, they did. And again, that's my frustration. Like uh, Greg says, we have more talent, but we're not putting up the numbers to match. So it's like, why? And Jerry Morrow says it's because you cried. I think what's funny for the Penn State people though is the players. I don't think they're going to get their Terry Smith because I think the Penn State apparatus will want somebody much, you know, sexy name, big ticket type of coach. So they're probably not going to get what they want. But yeah, just it's frustrating. We lose to a team that's in flux, staff's a mess, getting through it. We're only the second Big Ten win they had, and granted they played tough teams, but it's just we last year we lost to UCLA, a first year staff. Like it's concerning where granted we're only in year three, but in year three we still can't seem to win by coaching.
Yeah. Well, Greg and I were talking about this the other day, and I said, how come we can't be like Washington? Just be like Washington. We don't even have to be that great. Just be like Washington. And he reminded me that they played in the playoffs, and after that, Kalen DeBoer was offered the job at Alabama and didn't need to take any of the players that were on their roster with him because Alabama was already stacked with players.
Hmm.
So he left behind, playoff contender players. And so you just need to coach halfway decent. I mean,
Yeah,
is
and
it that we are really that talented or is it that we aren't? I mean,
we
I just have a feeling, okay, just stick with me. I'm not saying, you guys know I love Nebraska, but it just feels like the players aren't developed enough yet. Like they're too young. We have we have almost the youngest team in college football, and we definitely have overall, talent-wise, the youngest team.
we do. I saw a stat that Penn State, I think, had 15 seniors or something like that, and we have a lot less. And they're
30.
playoff battle tested, and I get that too. But you know, again, it's line play. It was line play. They had better lines, and that's the end of story right there. Like we can't protect and we can't stop the run. Like I mean, it is coaching. It's youth and it's coaching. It is because it's like even if you got smaller guys on that D line, you should still be able to do something to create, you know, disruption in the backfield. Do something. The linebackers don't make any plays. The line gets walled off. Carricker was saying like the outside guy always gets turned in. So it's like you need to be able to figure out a way around that. And we're
What
this
wait,
many
wait,
games in,
wait,
and we're
what was
still.
character saying?
He was saying like the outside edge guy would get his shoulder turned inside, so that means he gets walled off, and then they could run it outside. And they did that a lot. I mean, they ran basic just counter type plays inside, walled us off, and the guy would bounce out, and that was it. It's brutal, you know. So yeah,
I mean,
to
I
me it
just
is
think
coaching.
can I
Sorry,
say something?
no, yes, Minnie,
Well,
please.
you thank you. Thank you so much, Fred.
Understood.
Um, I don't know. I don't know, maybe it happened in that game, but our linebackers, in particular, have done well this season. The stats that I looked at overall on ESPN.com have us, like, neck and neck with Iowa's defense, and we all know that's all Iowa is good for. No, I mean,
Is there drug
that's all
addicts
they're
running
good for.
ESPN's
That's I'm gonna
website?
say
That
it.
just seems a little bit odd, but I mean, I don't know. The one guy that popped out of nowhere was at number 54. I think the last name was Bauer. Like he got a pass interference call, the linebacker, but he was kind of flying around near the middle to the end of the game. Like, so that was cool. So we got some guy in there like that took advantage of his opportunity. Um, but the rest of it is just everybody's been saying it over and over. It's offensive and defensive line and the who's coaching them. I mean, I feel like I'm parroting other people's information, and I'll give like full credit to who I hear it from. But like Zadiska was talking about the difference too. You know, they're talking Tony White and Terrence Knighton. You know, the D coordinator and the line coach. Maybe the guy that we got now coaching the D line isn't really showing them as much of how to get off blocks and how to do things. And we got depth, but
I
it's
mean, okay,
small too. We need bigger guys. You know,
eh, I obviously, somebody who has played defensive line would know a heck of a lot more than I do, but I can look at the system that we had in place with Tony White and Terrence Knighton, and they worked so well together that
hmm
Terrence Knighton went with him to FSU. Now that's a whole nother story, but with that went and not that a bunch of people followed him. Yes, we did have players follow them, but 2 of our key players, and everyone has said it, so I know I'm just repeating what people have said, but Nash, Hutmacher, and Ty Robinson were key players on our line, and
yeah,
to not have those replaced, I think that you kinda have to let the defensive line coach Like, have a year at least. I mean, the only
Yeah.
guys that we got new on defensive line, let's see. And it's just the jacks that come up and help, right?
Yeah, but you gotta have guys that can hold their ground because they've said it in the old 3-4 defense. Bill Cowher used to say it about the Steelers, Greg's team. Steelers suck, Greg. But when you run with this less, 3-man line, you need large guys to cover the grenade. Like hold the ground and let everybody else make the plays. Where our guys aren't covering the grenade, they're getting pushed around, pushed back, and then you got to hope the linebackers make a play if they don't get sealed inside, and it's just not happening. Wow, Nebraska strong, coming in hot.
He always comes in hot for me.
He does, yeah. He's fiery. He's like me. I like him.
He says, "Minnie, what are you talking about? That our defense is great?" I'm just saying it like I think he would say it to me. Are you kidding me, Minnie? We are ranked number 93 for rushing defense. Yikes. I wasn't talking about rushing defense. I was not talking about rushing defense. I was talking about the guys in the secondary. Okay? That's what I was talking about.
Oh, our pass
Those
defense
stats
is,
are
yeah.
neck and neck with Iowa's.
It's such a strange thing because usually you don't see it like this, where the D line usually contributes something, the pass rush, to make it difficult for the other team to pass, to give you a highly ranked pass defense, and they're not doing it. So it's like that shows how good our corners and safeties are. And eventually, though, they're going to break because they can't cover forever. And even then, they've still done great considering what they have in front of them. So it's weird. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Now that's a funny prediction. You might as well throw it out there, Ted. It would not surprise me at all if Penn State turns around and loses to Rutgers this week. Usually how it goes.
Probably.
I mean,
Yeah, I
come on.
wouldn't doubt it.
Come on, guys. Let's just
Anything
not go there.
anything is possible. Anything is possible. You
Mhm.
know, it's it's the Big Ten.
This
They
is
they
true.
don't do anything. They don't do anything. But then again, Rutgers sucks too. They're not going to stop anything. No, Penn State will run all over them, I'm sure.
Let's see here. Rutgers has not done bad. I
Mm,
mean, they've lost most of their games, but they're they. If I'm not mistaken, okay. So their first game, uh, the first conference game was that Iowa played was against Rutgers, 38-28. I think Greg Schiano is actually a good coach. I'm glad we're not playing them this year. Then I'd have to
yeah,
say
I
something
mean,
bad about
well,
them.
Wisconsin, they beat Illinois,
Wisconsin beat Illinois.
and I think they beat what more winning teams, or they beat like ranked teams or something this year, like or Wisconsin has. So it's like you know,
You can't take that is I mean, I hear it all the time. A trap game. What a true trap game is supposed to be is like when, a game is in between a cupcake game, right?
mhm.
But really, I think what it is when you overlook your opponent and don't think of them as a true opponent. Nebraska has not gotten that advantage ever, it feels like.
No, no matter how bad we've been, people want to kick our ass, and at the same time, sometimes we take other teams for granted. I think we took Minnesota for granted for sure, and I think in a sense we might have taken these guys for granted too. Rule said that the players had a thing they wanted to win for him, and his game and his alma mater and all that. But I don't know. They should have played better. Like I mean, I still put it on the staff. I think they coached scared, and the team followed suit, and we got what we got, and we
Mhm.
weren't throwing deep until we were down 30-3, whatever the hell it was. Like it's brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Oh yeah, there is MPE 1955. Wisconsin beat two ranked teams in the last 3 weeks. We haven't beaten a ranked team in a decade.
That I'm telling you, it's because
Mm,
people have given up on Wisconsin. Wisconsin was the punchline this season.
we've been a punchline too, and people seem
We
to
have
just wanna
not.
murder us.
We have not. It's because people see that we're actually building something,
Yeah,
that they take us seriously, and the fact that we were on top for so many years. Um,
but
People
anymore, I
wanna
mean,
beat us still
the
because of
kids
that.
that are playing won't really even know. I mean, we can't get people to come here because we were good. So it's like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I struggled with it. It
And
was,
explain to me how a bar in Scottsdale, Arizona can be packed on a Saturday night watching a Huskers game.
I don't know, drinking problems,
Drinking
masochists.
problems.
Like, I mean, that's
The
different. The
Huskers have
fans are
have
different.
have
I
made us
mean,
all drink at one
the
point or
fans are
another.
the fans are different. I mean, the fans are going to show up. Arizona's huge, huge, many huge for
Huge.
Husker fans, a Husker fan base. So it's like there's always going to be that interest. But you're talking about teams and whatnot. I mean, I don't know, or maybe people just know that they're probably going to kick our ass. So they just put the pedal down and do it. I don't know. I had an interesting conversation with the bartender at Kincaidor about all of this. Really, he was a lineman. He played D2 football. Husker fans drink. It has been proven. It has. I think we were the number one in the Big Ten for the beer sales.
We were. See, we're
See,
number 1 at
there we go.
something.
We're number one in something. But anyway, we were talking, and I said, "Well, I get caught up in the crisis of the now. Like I was pissed off on Saturday. We lost, and he was saying he was talking about him and his brother going back and forth about the season and the way it went and all the losses. And he said, I'm mad at this loss and that loss and that loss. And he said, but his brother says, well, you thought we were going to lose all those games anyway.
Mhm,
So basically, the team is doing exactly what you thought they would do.
mhm.
So you can't be too mad about it. So I thought that was an interesting take. But
It is. That's what I said at the beginning of last week, you guys, is I already had that game. Greg confirmed it on Thursday. I already had that game penciled in as a loss,
and see,
even with Dylan as our quarterback, and I think
uh,
most people did. And
I
now
did
granted, we
too.
didn't have the all the drama go. This
Mhm.
is what makes college football so interesting.
It makes it interesting, but it's like, but then it's like you get to the point of when it happens, and then it became a game that we, should have, in my opinion, should have won. I know some people still the experience and the age and all that. I don't care. We still should have beat them. They're not that much more talented than us, but our lines just suck. And until they don't suck, we're going to continue to kind of just middle around like this. Like Carricker asked in his show, like, have we gotten better this year since Cincinnati? Not really. You know, we're sitting at 7-4. We're going to be 7-5 after Friday. Like, not great.
Okay, it's not where we want it to be, but
Mm-mm.
but but
But
let me just say that once, and I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record to you guys, and once Dylan got injured at USC, you kinda have almost lost the season, okay? It Without him being the play caller, you have to readjust everything on offense. Some things have been working, some things just don't. I mean, there were several plays that happened on Saturday that I looked at Connor and I said, "And that's why a freshman quarterback shouldn't be put in these situations." I mean, he was running for his life in some of those situations
mhm,
and not able to complete plays. It's just he's a great quarterback. I even put it on the thumbnail. He's 1 for 1 as far as
mhm,
I'm concerned. And when Dylan got injured, I said, "Okay, well, we made it to a bowl game win, and if we don't win any other game for the rest of the season, at least we got that." Because your expectations at that point have to be adjusted. That's how I think.
They do, but I mean, and we can do like a season review at some point after we get past Iowa, but it's like shouldn't have lost to Minnesota, but we did. You know, that's one of those that we just gave it away. We lost the USC game, yeah, because I mean, we were doing well. If Dylan got hurt, changed the complexion of the game. I get it. But then to go from what we tried to do against UCLA versus what we ran against Penn State, I think honestly we ran that bootleg early on in our own end after our kick returner decided to run the ball out of the end zone, which was just mind numbing. That's old Nebraska mistakes, and we did it the worst possible time. We ran that boot with TJ to the right, I believe, and he about got clotheslined to death by the dude. And I think from that point on, the staff was like, okay, we're not going to run him. We're not going to do any zone read or anything to put any fear into Penn State that we could do anything. And then we just went back to running the same, I call it the Dylan offense, where it's just like drop back and wait for a while and nothing. Like, so I still put it on the staff that they didn't give them the best opportunity to succeed with the plays they called. It's just mind numbing. And yeah, and I get it. You look at through a different lens and a different time of the season and whatnot, but still to lose to those guys is just that's their second Big Ten win. You know, like it just and they killed us. It
Yeah,
shouldn't have
well,
been that way.
it it was the everything game for them. If they lost to Nebraska, 1, all of those guys, they were holding up signs after the game saying, "Hire Terry
Hmm.
Smith." Their players
Oh
after the
yeah,
game. And the game before that they won, they carried him off of the field. He's like, "I've never had that happen." He's crying. So that connection that he has with his players is real. They want him there, just like so many of our players wanted Mickey Josephs to be there, to be the head coach.
yeah.
Not
It's
gonna happen, but that
no,
they desperately want that. So that win was for them, was for him, I mean.
yeah. Well, and that's admirable and that's good for them. But why can't our players have that kind of effort and focus to win for our coach? Like it's just I
It just happens when there's interim coaches that kind of, like, come in and they're the underdog. It's an
Mhm.
emotional thing. I don't know.
It can be, but if you have a solid foundation, which is a word that Rule has said a lot over the last few
Mhm.
weeks, then you should be able to use your solid foundation to roll through teams that are, on some kind of emotional high, but we don't. And it's just, I feel like, Scott Frostline, we've seen this movie before. His press conferences have been, he talks a lot about all the good things again. And you know what? He said there's no excuses a few weeks ago with his nil money coming up. And we need to like hold him to it at some point because each thing he said, it sounds good, but then it doesn't really pay
I
off. Like he wants to think it into existence. And so next year, what'll it be? Like some other injury. We don't get the right lineman. And
I
next
just
year it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough schedule next year.
I just honestly believe that his press conference today was in full protection of the players.
He did. Yeah, he said put the L on him.
No,
I'll
no,
give him
no, I
that.
think it was more than that. I think he, didn't even want to talk about the game so much to protect the players.
Mm,
Yeah, they lost the game, period. There's no easy way to say it.
yeah.
Um, and, it's of course, the coaches are gonna say, "Yeah, it's on us." The players weren't playing together. They just weren't. I mean,
No.
it wasn't coming together for us, and, part of it is, again, going against Penn State and that kind of environment where they're trying to win for this interim coach. There's a whole thing psychologically that happens there that we don't even have time to get into, but I do love this little thing right here that Don Dre reminds us. A lot of Americans love Nebraska football.
Yeah.
Not just that, I will go as far as to say it's un-American to not love Nebraska football.
Oh, probably. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, but it's also fair to be critical of it when it's not turning out like what we were expecting and even told. I go back to when Rule was hired, and he said, because they talked about the 3-year build and the builder and the slow build, and he said at the time, it'll go a lot quicker than you think. He said that when he first came here.
Yeah.
We were 5-7, didn't expect any miracles. That's fine. But, and Keen had said it a while back, and this is what I said preseason. I expected 9 wins. A lot of people were saying 10, a lot of people were saying playoff and all the craziness. I said 9 wins, and I said if we got 8, it was still a failure because it's only one more win than we had last year, considering the schedule we have. And we're on pace to, we might get the 8th win in the bowl game, maybe, because I don't see it happening on Friday.
Okay.
Wish we would. I hope we would. I hate losing to Iowa. It makes me sick. It's the most boring rivalry in the history of fucking football. Like I can't stand it. But they they play basic football, and we can't do it. That's the galling part. It's basic football, and it blows our mind when we play them.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay. Iowa almost lost to Michigan State on Saturday.
Hmm.
They barely eked it out at the very end. Iowa can be beaten, and Michigan State showed us how. We're a better team than Michigan State. We're not better than many teams, but we are better than Michigan State. That I'm very comfortable saying.
Mm, yeah.
And
How
I
did
do
they
believe
almost beat
that.
Iowa? I didn't watch it. Like, what did they do to almost beat Iowa?
Okay,
What was their
so
secret sauce?
let's see here. Mhm.
Matt, and he says it doesn't matter. We'll make them look like the '85 Bears.
No, we won't. Okay, down to the wire. Down to the wire. Yeah, that's right. The game was
I think they got a didn't they get a
tied.
punt return or something to
It
win
was
it, or
tied, and
yeah.
there was like a minute and 25 seconds left. I think this is the game that I'm thinking of. Guys, I watch a lot of games. So 20-17 is how they won, of course, with a field goal. Um, if it comes down to a field goal this year, I have complete confidence that we would make our field goal this year.
Mm,
Every team that they've played has been a pretty close win, other than Minnesota. They beat the pants off of Minnesota. Um,
they
but
beat the Capris off of them, or the
the
regular man?
Capris, yes, yes.
Okay.
The
I know PJ wears short man's pants, but anyways.
what color red is Minnesota?
I
Is it
it's kinda
maroon?
like maroon, but I also thought Oklahoma's maroon. I don't know, I'm a guy, I don't understand colors. Theirs is, like, got more purple to it than, and Minnie said men are colorblind, like, a month ago. So, yeah, you're asking the wrong person. People in the chat will say, "Oh, Tiger Shark says maroon." So, there we go.
Burgundy, maroon.
Ooh,
Okay.
burgundy, ooh.
Like Ron
I don't know,
Burgundy?
I'd almost argue Oklahoma's burgundy and Minnesota's maroon, but again, I don't.
Okay, differentiate those 2 shades of red, please. Maroon has what in it compared to burgundy?
When I think burgundy, I think of a wine, and a lot of times a wine could be a little more of a reddish to it, where the maroon is a little more purple, but maybe I'm flip-flopping those. Again,
You're flip-flopping. So,
I'm
burgundy
a
is more of a
guy
purplish tint, and maroon is more of like a brown tint.
in I'm not sure when Williams over here. I don't know, but I'm just, that's my guess. I'm sure somebody will Google it, and they should be able, because
Guys,
technically
this
we're
is my
scarlet and
thing.
cream. We're not
This is
red.
actually what I do for real.
Oh, well, you okay.
So I would know.
Okay.
But I
All right.
just don't know what color Minnesota is, because we're like scarlet and cream,
Mhm.
even though we've never done anything cream, it's always white.
Okay. Hefe says Oklahoma equals crimson, Minnesota equals maroon.
Okay. Thank you, Hefe.
Okay. There we go.
There we go. Oops.
Okay. Crimson and cream. And there's so many different colors. Like I remember when we played Florida State, and I think they're technically called garnet and gold. So it's like, I gotta feel like I'm on Thursday night. We're just way over here now, but that's all right. Sorry, Greg. I'll leave that
Well,
shtick
now
to you.
because we wanna make sure we get the right color capris. So, is
That's
it
true.
maroon or is it burgundy? I still don't know.
Yeah, we got Oklahoma settled. I don't know.
Is Minnesota maroon or burgundy? Can somebody find out? We need Greggle here.
But it's not an art class, Jerry. You're not going to be asked about it on the final. Um, yeah, Hefe says fuck Iowa too. So we're starting to build the Iowa hate. So that's good.
Okay. Yeah, that is good. Okay, so on to that game. Shall we talk about that?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right. Here's the reality. Iowa is 7-4 and Nebraska is 7-4. Okay? When I was looking at stats in comparison with each other, I got to tell you, we look better on offense, obviously. Um,
Husker Chuck. Somebody give Husker Chuck 10 pit points. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
I love that
What do
song.
you get if you combine Oklahoma and Notre Dame, Crimson and Clover? Over and over, Husker Chuck, over and over.
Oh my god,
Anyways,
that was really funny.
didn't mean
It
to
took me
pull
a
a mini and
second.
interrupt you.
It's a
So,
thinking man's joke. Okay. Mark Ranowski has had 1,363 passing yards. We're not going to talk about passing yards because Dylan obviously way exceeded that. He was like 2,000 something.
hmm
Um, what I did like was has their lead running back has 690 rushing yards, and Emmett has 1,234 rushing yards.
it I think this year more than any year, stats are just wild and can't be trusted. I mean, you think about all the rushing yards that he has versus the amount of wins we have. Dylan's passing yards and missing a few games, but again, equates to the wins. So it's like we have these wild stats and we have the great pass defense, but our run defense sucks. So it's like, I mean, the running back has 600 yards, but Iowa just does Iowa things. They get a lot
They're
of probably
not good
hidden
on
yardage
offense.
in their kick returns is probably their thing too, because they
Yeah,
got another
they're
kick
not good
ass.
on offense still.
Yeah.
Their best weapon, as you can tell just by the stats, is their quarterback, to be honest, because he'll run. Um,
Ooh, Greg says we're a paper tiger. Ooh, you done did it, Greg. You're gonna get it on Wednesday, I guess, is the show because Thursday is Thanksgiving. So
yeah, yeah, you're gonna get it. Okay.
not to be confused with Glass Tiger, the '80s band. So Google it later, Minnie.
I
You'll
will.
appreciate it.
I probably won't, but thank you. I'll just let
For the
Greg tell
North
me what
Korea
it
college
is.
football.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's where it really comes into play. Where our stats line up is Javin Wright has 74 tackles. Let's see here. Yep, 74 tackles, is leading the team with 74 tackles, and on their team, their linebacker is leading the team with 73 tackles, and then they have 3 interceptions where we have 2. Deshaun Singleton has 2. Um, so that's where I'm at the secondary is where I was
Mhm.
talking about how we're similar defensively. Okay. Mostly 10 yards down the field. Got it. Guys, all I'm trying to say is there is hope. There is a way to beat Iowa. We can't just give up this easily. We've nearly beat them the last 2 times we lost to them.
We have, but it's like I think I said it. I think I said it on the Sunday show, or I just told somebody. I said we'll either lose 16-13 again, or we'll lose by a lot. Like it feels like
No,
we're
we're
just
not gonna
sacred
lose
because
by they don't score a lot. I just told you what
they
their average scores are.
don't. But if we turn into the turnover machine, if we give up sacks or we go for it on, like I struggle because Rule talked about it after Penn State, the snowball game. It's like we're going all right, we're going okay, and then a thing happened. The next thing you know, it's like
Mhm.
it just you're done. And it's that kind of a actually it was John. Oh my god, I conflated John with Rule. Don't tell John. Delete
Ouch.
this section of the show, Minnie. I don't want to get
Poor John.
excommunicated.
No, I'm gonna clip this section and send it to
It
him.
now I'm doomed. But no, it just feels like that's still a thing that's kind of in our DNA. If it starts to go bad, it'll progress, and that's a bummer because in the beginning of the year, even with Cincinnati, I thought we were past it. We got that thing where we're winning the close ones. We had to come back against Maryland, and it was kind of gritty, and we beat Michigan State. Then it got a little tight versus UCLA, but we beat them, and so it's like we've almost solved that riddle, but I feel like our confidence is shaken to the point now that it's up for grabs on Friday. I hope I'm wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong. I'll tell
Thanks,
you
man.
why. I'll tell
Okay.
you why.
Minnie's got a spreadsheet, guys. Get ready for it.
'Cause
Excel
I
the way.
I have okay, I actually have 3 pages of notes just for
Oh
tonight's
shit.
show.
Put on a pot of coffee, guys. We ain't done yet.
And if I don't use them all tonight, we'll use them on Wednesday night. But I just think that TJ against UCLA, of course, that was not as good of a defense. We've
Mhm.
already gone over that. That win, though, was a good win
Oh yeah,
because every player gave extra. And that's exactly what needs to happen this Friday. That's
exactly.
why I think that we're gonna win.
Yeah, it's our senior day.
Mhm.
There's that. Uh, Hindenburg.
I
Oh
love it.
man. Oh, the chat's like, you guys are on fire. I enjoy this. It's fun to see it from this side and not have to be a nuisance. But yeah.
One of my favorite movies is Moneyball is a good movie.
Wow. That's a movie that Minnie has seen and I've not seen, which
What?
is odd because I feel like I've seen like Minnie grew up in a log cabin, as we know, and really doesn't know much about pop culture or movies or anything. So it's kind of
Yes, I do.
surprising that she's
Yeah,
seen
I
that.
know I know a lot of things they happen to fall into more girly type things, okay? That's why I
Thanks,
don't get
Greg. I'm being a
the
nuisance
male
in the
sense of
chair
humor
too.
all the time.
Well, good, good. Greg says I'm being a nuisance in the chair. I'm trying, Greg. I'm trying. I don't have any Yingling, but I got my preseason Kool-Aid, and we're up to the November where it's the sad face. So,
Ah,
you know,
all right. Let me just throw this out there, just for the sake of just dreams, okay? Because if it doesn't happen, you guys may never ever hear from us ever again. Let's just say we win on Friday. Will that change your opinion about this coaching staff at all?
for me, it would show that they can adjust because we haven't seen as much adjustment, in my opinion, this year. So it would show that they figured out something between UCLA and Penn State of how to handle Iowa. And Rule said it, and he was right. He goes, "There's no cheat code to beat Iowa. You know what they're going to do."
Mhm.
Matney with the quick nope. Oh, Matney. But no, I mean, so if we did, I would feel better. And that was a question Carricker had asked too. He said, "Do you feel better this year going into the Iowa game than you did last year?" I do not. Like, I feel better because last year we beat Wisconsin. So we're coming
Last
off
year
that
we
win.
had
We
a
go in.
high. We were on a high because
Exactly.
we had Dana Holgerson replacing Satterfield. That's
Yeah.
why.
And that was it.
That was the key right there.
And
And
now we
even
got the
though we
key.
lost at
And
USC, we
yeah,
lost with Dana Holgerson.
that's true. But he was here for like half a week. But it's like now we got the key that's Holgerson. And then Rule just like threw the key in the sewer and said, "Fuck it. We're going to run Satterfield's offense." Like, that's what it felt like against Penn State. And I get that they wanted to protect him, TJ, but we're done talking about Penn State. But I don't know. If we, and I'm totally wrong now because coming into the season, we did our predictions and I said, I thought we'd beat Iowa and I thought we'd beat them by a lot because we jump out quickly and just get on them. And that's the only way to beat them. And now I have to roll that back because I don't know that we can do that. So now I think we're going to get in the rock fight. And when it's the rock fight, it's 50-50, you know?
Okay. I think this still has to be seen. I think that statement right there, David Matney, as much as you might believe it, I do think that still has to be proven. I think on Friday, we come out, just every player, just excuse my French, balls to the wall. Whatever it takes. I want to
Clip that,
see.
guys. Minnie said balls to the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Mm.
want to see like true grit in
Oh, I
every
got the
player.
DVD. I can just mail it to you.
Shut
So
up.
you can
You know
watch
what I
that.
mean. You were supposed to help with this Iowa crap. Come on.
Well, no, I'm going to bash Iowa here whenever we like. But no, I get what you're saying, Matt. And he said that's the one I struggle with the better last year versus this year because this year the special teams is like top tier compared to what we had. But last year the D line was top tier compared to what we have. Oh, MPE 19. That's my friend Mike. I'm a bad influence on everybody, Mike. You should know that by now. You've known me for like 15 years. Um, but so it's like it's tough because Dylan's a little more seasoned, so he's better. We got Emmett running the ball better. Pass defense, phenomenal. D line, terrible this year. Special teams, awesome. Offensive line still sucks, as bad as last year. But last year we had a great D line, pretty good DBs. We didn't have the wide receivers. Special teams sucks. So it's like, honestly, if the two teams played, it would be like probably fucking 3-3 tie, and they just give up after like 6 overtimes and just make them go home because it's trading deficiencies, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Husker Chuck
And
is hopeful, not confident. That's where I'm at too.
okay. Okay. Here's the thing. As Matney says, but we have a podcast. And I kid you not, there is hardly any Iowa football YouTube shows, podcasts. There's 2 that I know of, and actually, I'm gonna be on one tomorrow night.
Ooh,
I know.
I
I'm
better
ready.
find that one. See how long
I'll
before I get banned.
I'll post I'll post it, on X.
Oh,
But,
please do.
yeah, you guys come and give them help, please. They need to know what it's like. Their fans are geez, they're horrible.
See, I've never had that, and that's where I go back to like I loved what Jake did last night because that's the good encapsulation of the hate. For me, I mean, I don't like them, but I don't. Even though they beat us all the time, I'm frustrated we lose to them, but I don't really hate them, and I've never had horrible interactions with their fans. I maybe because I'm not online or whatever. I mean, I had like I kind of debated lightly an Iowa fan in real time and real world one time, and he wasn't bright and he just wasn't getting it. And it was like I said, "Do I need to get you a thesaurus?" And then he's like, "Well, I love dinosaurs." And then I was like, "Well,
Oh
fuck
my
this. This
god.
isn't, worth." It's a joke, Minnie.
Was he
That's not a
playing with
real
you?
story.
Was he playing with you?
The whole thing was a euphemism, Minnie. It was all a joke. It's a setup. So I'm just saying, in general, though,
Oh,
I've never had a great. I've talked with a few Iowa fans. There's just nothing there. There's no there's no sauce to the argument.
that's not what I've experienced at all, and I've only come in contact with Iowa fans. One of my girlfriends here in Phoenix is an Iowa fan, and it drives me crazy because that's another story, the girl drama, we don't wanna talk about that. But
The
and
Housewives of Phoenix, Arizona, ladies and gentlemen, tune in on A&E.
and there's another girl, Iowa Hawkeye fan, that I really don't like, that I only met because of YouTube stuff, and, oh, she drives me crazy. She is just so full of her team, thinking that they're the best thing ever.
Can she name like 5 of their players?
Yes, she can.
Oh, that's too bad 'cause that's my thing is usually I will talk to an Iowa fan, like, and this is real, and they're just like might know the quarterback or they just know, "Oh, Ferentz always beats you guys." That's the galling part that I don't like because then that shows you're not a real fan. But this is a
Yeah.
thing, and I don't know if we talked about this.
Mhm.
My old chiropractor wrestled for Iowa State, and he's so obviously hates Iowa. And he
Okay.
said the difference between Iowa State and Iowa is that Iowa State grads or Iowa State fans went there. They have a tie to the school. They said Iowa fans, it's just a catch-all. Oh, I'm an Iowa fan. So he calls them tavern Hawkeyes. So they're just like people in a bar that adopt a team that don't really care about it or have any tie to it. I've worked
Yeah.
with people too, and I could ask them who's their starting quarterback, running back, front seven. They don't know anything, but they're like, "Oh, Herky's our mascot, and we usually beat you." Like, and that's annoying and it's stupid, but it's like it's arguing. It's like arguing with a drunken child. Like that's not bright. So it's like I give them zero credence.
That's interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, because they haven't been interesting. That's why.
No, and that's
And
it.
it's like
Yeah.
what Rule said, it's just that constant. They're just gonna play football just the way that they play it. It's not exciting, but they're just gonna play it the entire way through till the very last second. And guess what? If they happen to have timeouts left at the end and they're behind, oh yeah, they're gonna call timeouts. Even if there's no chance of them winning, they're still gonna use their timeouts
No,
because
yeah.
this is what Iowa does.
And that's but they just do what they do, and that's what I fear will happen is with us is they'll wait, they'll hang in there, wait for the mistake, capitalize, and that's it. It's very boring, but it's basic football. And they win because they have good line play, or they keep close because they have good line play. And that'll be the difference. Like, it's tough. It's yeah, but yeah, the fan base, I don't really know. I've never had great trash talk with any of them. A few I've talked to have been cordial enough, but they're not bright.
Okay, so
It's kind of like,
we don't turn on the fans, we turn on the team as a whole.
yeah, and that I get that part of it. And it's kind of like that line in Casablanca where there's that little seedy guy and he's like, "You don't think much of me, do you, Rick?" And then Bogart's like, "If I gave you any thought, you're right, I probably wouldn't." Like that's how I look at Iowa fans. That's how I look at the team. Like there's nothing ever that we're playing for worth anything. There's a trophy, but we're never playing to see who goes to the Big Ten championship. They've kept us from a bowl a couple of times, maybe, which big deal. So there's never been any stakes. So for me, I need stakes, like to get amped up about the game too. Wow, dang,
Yeah,
Greggle is
isn't
Gregling.
Why would he do that tonight of all nights?
Because Greg chose violence tonight at 9:55 p.m. That's why.
I guess. Dang. All right. Well, um, do you want to give your score prediction now or do you want to wait till Wednesday night?
Oh, let's keep everybody in suspense till Wednesday.
Okay. Just keep in mind what I said. Whenever you guys are thinking about your score, as as no, it's Las Vegas has already figured out they've already been adjusting.
What
I
is the
mean,
line now? I
it was
saw
like
it early.
it was like 7.5, I want to say. I just checked it right before. And I think it opened up at 10 or 11. So they keep adjusting it. We'll see
With
what it is by
Iowa
Friday.
being favored.
Really? Five and a
I live
half
in the
last
real
time we
world,
talked.
Minnie. I'm not, Oh, it's 5.5. Okay.
Yeah. So this is, it's starting to look better for Nebraska. Just keep that in mind. Keep in mind what I said.
What's the over under? 15?
Yeah, it's something like that.
That'll be how many beers me and Jerry drink on Friday watching the game. So,
Okay,
yeah.
11 o'clock.
Ooh, money lines, Iowa, 240. Okay. I might go down to Warhorse and spend some money
Ooh, that is my dream job.
working at a casino.
No.
Oh,
No. Kino? Kino? No. My dream job is to be like, you know, like the old Vegas guys that sit in the sports betting rooms like 24 hours a day, and this is all they do. This is their excitement. Like, will me in there
ah,
when I'm 75 years old.
well, if you don't have dreams, you have nothing but nightmares, I guess. So there is that.
All right. Yes, and Greg wants everyone to be reminded to get your wild turkey for our annual tradition. It's actually his annual tradition, but you're welcome to join us.
I Can we have any whiskey, Greg, or do I have to have wild turkey? I'd have to
I
go buy
I
it.
say you can have any whiskey.
Okay. Minnie gave me an exemption. It's like the Catholic Church, so
Yes.
we're good to go.
All right. Uh, do you have anything else to add, Fred?
No, just go Big Red, beat Iowa. That's about as excited as I can get about it. Maybe it'll get more lively once we get to Friday. We'll see.
Okay. Well, that just sucked. I expected way more out of you. Way, way, way more, Fred.
But I'm drinking my Husker Crusher, so I'm putting money towards the program. I'm doing my part, Minnie.
Yeah. You sound like me, my very first year of this, which was just last year, by the way.
It only feels like 10 years, doesn't it? For Greg, it
Yeah,
feels like 20.
it is. It has yeah, every show feels like 10 years. Please beat Iowa. Oscar Chuck now
I
he's
hope so.
pleading,
Fingers crossed.
"Please, dear Lord, please let us beat Iowa." Hell no. Here's what I say, "Fuck Iowa and go Big Red."
Go Big Red, everybody.